Hey singers, just want to reach out and touch base this week. Have had several interesting conversations with people about challenging situations for finding spaces to practice where they're not bothering other people that they're around. It's a situation that's real and live in my house because I've got a daughter that's a vocal performance major, and so when I'm teaching, sometimes she's singing at the same time. When she's in a lesson, sometimes I'm singing at the same time. So it's challenging to balance, but just wanted to give a tip for ways that you can manage this. One of the techniques that I like to use, actually I use this even when I'm not trying to just be quiet, but I find it as a really helpful exercise, is to sing into a piece of towel. Okay, so what this is it's just a normal hand towel that you just fold, a couple of times until you get it to about the right thickness, and you'll figure out what this is as you experiment with this some on your own. But I like it to be folded about like that much. And what we're going to do is we're just going to sing like normal. We're going to fully phonate, but we're going to do it into the towel. Okay, so we're going to, your mouth is going to have to be open, right? And you're not going to breathe through the towel. This is really important. You just breathe like normal. So you pull the towel away when you breathe, and then you put it to your lips when you sing. It's kind of like this. And then you take a breath without the towel, and you sing something else. Take it away for your breath. So what this is it's a partially obstructing the vocal tract kind of exercise. It's in many ways it's similar to like a lip trill or humming or the letter V or something like that. I personally like the towel better than any of those things. I like lip trills, I do them in my teaching all the time. But something about this is different. It's more like real singing than a lip trill. Is just there's something going on there that's just pretty radically different than real singing. But you can essentially sing anything you would normally otherwise do it into the towel, and it does several things. Number one, obviously, it dramatically decreases the volume. You can essentially do this in a room right next door to someone, and they might be able to barely hear it. But number one, they're not going to be disturbed by it. They're also not going to maybe judge you. I feel like this is part of the issue with us sometimes, and I'm in the same boat. I don't want to make a lot of loud noise when people are listening to me right next door or in the same room even. But when I do this, somehow it camouflages that, and I feel less like I'm being scrutinized. So it does that, has the effect of just making it much softer, but also it reduces a little bit of tension that builds up in the larynx by this phenomena. You can look this up, actually. It's really quite interesting. You want to look up the pedagogical science of a lip trill, which is basically the same thing. It partially obstructs the airflow, which creates back pressure in and around the larynx and just kind of makes the larynx chill out a little bit. And from our studies together that anything that causes the larynx to relax and get into a happier state in favor of activity in the breath and the body is what we're all after. So I like this not only as a warm-up, like just doing vocalies, what you would normally do but into the towel. And by the way, you can sing normal vowels into this. It doesn't have to all just be ah. Oh. It can be E. E. So a vocalese like E, in towel would be. You can do any vocalese that you normally do into the towel. It works great. Again, remember that you don't breathe through the towel. You breathe normally, you remove the towel and breathe normally, and then you place it to your lips as you phonate. But the one thing I want to caution you or advise you against is be sure that your tongue does not draw back away from your lower teeth. Sometimes when we do things like this, the tongue can actually feel like it's about to get invaded, like its space is about to get invaded. So it will actually draw back in the mouth to stay away from what you're about to put to your lips. We do not want that to happen with singing, because once the tongue goes back, it gets into a nasty little ball of tension, and we do not want that. So your tongue goes at normal home base, which is right here, lower teeth and gum line, and you just leave it there. If you'll do that, there are no adverse effects of singing into a towel at all. If you allow the tongue to draw back in the mouth, it's not so helpful, and we don't want that. So here's your exercise. Now, not only can you do vocalies like this, like I said, but you can do entire songs, arias, musical theater numbers, whatever it is that you need to practice can be done through the towel. For example, I don't know, something like you will find it more clumsy or awkward if you try to make consonants and words. It can be done, but it's a better exercise if you do it all on one vowel. So you just pick one vowel sound like E or A or Ah. That's E, or then you can do Ah. Again, remember to remove the towel when you breathe in. You don't want that obstruction there. You want to breathe naturally, but then you put the towel up to the lips and you phonate through the towel. So just number one, a little trick or tool for maybe helping work in a circumstance where other people are at close quarters, right? But also, I find this to be a healthy technical exercise, even if I'm not trying to be quiet. I feel like it's a good thing to do. So there's your little vocal tidbit for the day, for the week. I hope you guys are all staying safe and doing as best you can in this challenging time. Love you guys. Keep singing.